What's good, everybody? It's Sean P, the Bluff God, and we back at it again with another One Piece discussion. And today, we don't have a chapter this Sunday. So, I decided to do something a little different. I try to do these in between discussions on Sundays. We don't have the chapter, but today I want to do a reaction video of a video. It's talking about it's the best One Piece theory ever. That you'll ever see. Best One Piece theory video you'll ever see. Now, I've seen a little bit of it. Like I watched a little bit of a reaction somebody else was doing, and that's how I came across it. But I haven't seen the whole thing. I wasn't really paying attention to what I did see. I know a little bit about what they talk about, but we gonna get into it together, okay? So I don't know, I don't know what to expect as far as how crazy this theory could get. Is it really the best, or is it just like a little joke? A little joke, exaggeration. We gonna see. But yeah. So anyway, before we get into that, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. So you catch me when I go live. And today I do have a smoothie. Got my smoothie today. Oh man, I usually always have a smoothie on my beat vlogs. Every time I do a vlog, I got my little smoothie next to me. This one's from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. It's all right. It wasn't like that last one I had. I want to say Friday, on my Friday stream. But yeah. Anyway, let's get to this. All right. So before I press play into the video, it is done by a YouTuber, a popular YouTuber named Ohara. Kind of like the So some of y'all might be maybe familiar with the YouTuber Ohara. He has 194K likes, so it must be a good video. Doing real well for himself. But yeah. So let's. The original video will be linked in the description if you want to go check it out yourself. I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole video, because I kind of, I might leave some at the end so you guys could check yourself. But or I'm thinking we might go through most of it. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get it. If anything, go to the original. Even if we do go through the whole video, because this is something new I'm kind of doing, and but if we do go through the whole video, still go to the original video, drop a like. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go do that right now. Go drop a like, regardless, or dislike. Just show them, just like or dislike it. Doesn't matter. But anyway, what's going on? Trying to. Ooh.
Do you love the idea of people getting back?
Sorry, having a little not technical difficulty. I kind of caused myself. But yeah. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Trying to move all this other stuff off this window. cool. Alright, so the video is titled The Best One Piece Theory You'll Ever Watch, I guess. So yeah, let's get into it. Let me put my headphones on so I can hear it.
Realize that when you take the D initial and put it in front of... Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Have you ever realized that when you take the D initial and put it in front of the title of the story, suddenly it becomes a new word? Coincidence, you might say now. But when you take the same D initial and put it in front of Annie's lobby that otherwise makes no fucking sense, it suddenly becomes another English word. Denies. Yeah, I know. Blew my mind as well. So now that I know that you're gonna watch this video till the end, let me tell you the crazy story of how the Japanese One Piece community convinced me that the ancient kingdom was part of that otherwise makes...
I'm gonna replay this because I'm kind of confused where he's trying to go with the whole D in front of in his lobby being denied.
Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring
And
this
done
video.
piece.
Have you ever realized that when you take the D initial and put it in front of the title of the story, suddenly it becomes a new word? Coincidence, you might say now. But when you take the same D initial and put it in front of Annie's lobby that otherwise makes no fucking sense, it suddenly becomes another English word. Denies. Yeah, I know. Blew my mind as well. So now that I know that you're gonna watch this video till the end, let me tell you the crazy story of how the Japanese One...
I don't know what that I don't know where he was going with that one. Y'all, maybe it's something deeper. Maybe somebody got that. You know, somebody understands the deeper meaning of putting D in front of One Piece and it being done piece. And then, I mean, I guess it must be a joke. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not getting it. I don't know. Let me know.
One Piece community convinced me that the ancient kingdom was part of Jaya, that it's now at the bottom of the sea under Ennis lobby, and
as far as the story being done, piece, and you know how it's never going to be done, at least no time soon.
that Skypiea and Dressrosa tell us what happened during the Void Century. At the end of all this, I promise you will laugh as maniacally as I did when I found out just how in your face this all might have been all along. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited to share this.
One Piece は実在する
In chapter 253, we learned that Upper
That
Yard
was
and
intense.
Skypiea actually used to be part of the island Jaya down on sea level.
すげえもん見つけたお見ろ空島の地図
When you put both maps together, they form one giant skull-shaped island with modern Jaya being the teeth and the legendary golden city of Shandora as the right eye. Oh, yeah, and there is a giant perfectly round gaping hole where the other eye should have been. Why is no one mentioning this? There is an ancient city in the one eye, and the second eye looks like someone ripped out the one piece of the island that made the second eye of the skull. Wait, one piece? Are you telling me? Yes, this video is also about the true nature of the One Piece and why Skypiea was actually not the least important but the most f***ing important arc in the story. And we all didn't see it. I first stumbled across the...
I do, like, I have kind of said that I feel as though Skypiea was, I'm pretty sure in a previous discussion we had, I mentioned the kind of, I think when we was talking about the Sun God, sorry that smoothie's cold. I was talking about the Sun God Nika and how there's, I'm trying to think if I said it in the stream or if I was talking to somebody like off, like, you know, it was an off screen conversation. But we was talking about how Skypiea had like so many, I guess, so many things, you know, anything involving Enel, like Enel being in the moon. If you watch some of his cover stories, you see a lot of, there's a story about Enel being on the moon. He meets these people, these little moon people, and there's like other images and stuff. I'm not going to get into it on this stream, but there's a lot of symbolism of like this, of like the sun. I think there has been symbolism about like the sun before in One Piece as opposed to the sun god, and I think Skypiea kind of has a lot of gems referring to just a lot of things in the story in general, including the sun god Nika. And I think that's when I was talking about Skypiea before, when I was talking about the sun god Nika. But I think Skypiea has a lot of relevance in the overall story in general. But yeah, anyway, let me play the video.
The centerpiece for this theory when doing research for my annual video. I came across this new Japanese One Piece YouTuber called Uderon, who absolutely rocks the Daft Punk mask and who has this crazy video about the true essence of the One Piece. Since I luckily speak some Japanese, I watched it all and it blew my mind so damn hard that I think I just sat there for like 5 minutes straight staring at my PC. Now, for whatever reason, this theory does just not exist in the English-speaking community. So I asked him on Twitter if he would be willing to let me share his thoughts, and got completely ghosted. At least he followed me back though. Thanks. So in good old pirate spirit, I decided to share with the people what belongs with the people. Okay, so the first thing that absolutely caught me by surprise is how much more Oda seems to play with words, numbers, and letters than we English-speaking fans seem to realize. Best example that is actually also relevant for this video is One Piece itself. In Japanese, One Piece is written in the katakana alphabet as One Piece, but this is only on top of an actual Japanese phrase. Hitotsunagi Daihyo. This is usually read as Hitotsunagi, the great treasure of the One Piece, as in the one piece of a whole, Hito as in one. However, this could also be read as Hitotsunagi, Hito as in humans, making it the treasure that connects all people, which of course One Piece is all about. So as I was saying, the core idea of this theory is that Jaya did not only lose a chunk of its land once when Upper Yard was catapulted into the sky by the knock-up stream 400 years ago, but also 800 years ago, when the city located in the left eye was ripped out in the war with the world government. Which, when we look at the map, would theoretically work, right? One city as the right eye and one city as the left eye, making the island one ancient kingdom. So what's my proof for all this, you ask? Oh, there is a lot. First of all, the name of the series. One Piece, and there is exactly one piece missing in this map. If Laugh Tale itself was the one...
That's weird. That's an awkward. I don't understand the correlation, you know, with the show being called One Piece and a part of Jaya being missing. One piece of Jaya. I don't know. Let's see where he's going with it. I'm trying to stick along with it. You know, it's a lot being thrown, a lot of information. And it's just like a lot of different information that, you know, I guess he's going to bring it all together. I'm hoping, but just seems like a lot of information being thrown out, a lot of random information. But let's go.
One Piece missing from the former ancient kingdom, that would fit, right? No pun intended. Then there is also a ton of small hints regarding the island's left eye being hidden or destroyed throughout Skypiea. For instance, in the cover of volume 27, Luffy has his left eye closed, and I noticed that the same is sort of true for Robin in volume 24 as well. We also have Pedro's missing left eye, Shank's scar, Luffy's scar, Zoro's scar, and the Jolly Roger of Doflamingo, a former celestial dragon, where the skull's left eye is just literally...
Okay, I think I see where he's starting to correlate things a little more. It's starting to make a little more sense. So, when you look at Jai, right, its left eye is missing. And One Piece, he's saying like One Piece in general has a lot of symbolism, especially with a missing left eye, right? Like, or just like either a scar on the left eye or just something with the left eye, right? And so I think where he's going with it is that the One Piece is located. The One Piece was located where that left eye was. So maybe Lafto, whatever Lafto is, was once part of Jaya, just like Skypiea, and you know, or just like the what was it? Yeah, Skypiea. But you know, let's see.
Stroked out. Now, the volumes surrounding the Skypiea arc are actually some of the most critical in the entire story. Tons of important characters get introduced here. We meet
That's
Blackbeard
true.
and learn about the importance of dreams. We meet Bellamy and Doflamingo, who are also extremely relevant to this theory. And we see the meetings of Shanks and Whitebeard, as well as Ace and Buggy, all of which are super closely related to Roger, who, by the way, decided to leave a little message on the poneglyph in Shandora out of all places he could have done so. But the person most connected to Roger in a way that we meet in this arc is none other than Mont Blanc Nolans. He's a direct parallel to Roger, and their connection is one big hint that Jaya was the ancient kingdom and that Laugh Tale is its missing part. Noland is basically Roger, but in many ways reverted. Both of them were very powerful, free-spirited adventurers. This panel here, where only Noland can hear the sound of the bell, strongly suggests that just like Luffy and Roger, he had the voice of all things. Both of them found legendary places, Shandora and Laugh Tale. Both came back with no evidence, and both were sentenced to death and executed. However, here the story
I kind of like that correlation with Nolan possibly being like Roger, because you know, a lot of people talk about Joy Boy, right? And you know, there's a lot, you know, some people think Joy Boy was a person. Some think Joy Boy is like a code name, and I'm kind of the belief that Joy Boy could possibly be a code name of, you know, very important individuals throughout time. Like you have Luffy, who may be the current Joy Boy. Roger might have been the previous Joy Boy. Mont Blanc, Mont Blanc, he was just talking, or Nolan, Mont Blanc, him being a Joy Boy. Maybe the sun god Nika could have been a Joy Boy of his time. He could have been like the first Joy Boy. But that's him talking about Nolan, because I never even really considered Nolan. You know, I never considered Nolan being like Roger. Like Roger. I mean, people always talk about the parallels between Luffy and Roger. I never really seen somebody point out Nolan and Roger. But yeah, let's get back.
stories start to invert each other. While Nolan was deemed a liar for his speech, Roger sparked a new era of piracy. Nolan didn't know the way back to Shandora, but Roger did know the way to Laugh Tale. Nolan cried while Roger laughed. And Nolan actually told the truth in the end, as the City of Gold was real, while Roger sort of lied, as the core of the One Piece is not gold and silver. And so, given all these parallels, wouldn't it make a ton of sense that Nolan found the City of the Right Eye, while Roger found the one on the left? In Mocktown, at the beginning of the arc, Bellamy makes fun of...
I like that. I kind of like that. Nolan found the City of Gold, the one in the right, and Roger finding the left. That's interesting. That's an interesting one. And guys, let me know what you guys think of this theory. You know, some of the points that he pointed out. You know, maybe if you catch something, point it out to me. If you catch something that I might miss or not, won't point out, because there's a lot of stuff being thrown. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm trying to keep up with all the information being thrown, and trying to like correlate it. But it's hard when you getting something new thrown at you every time.
Dreamers, and says that the era of dreams is over. He explicitly names the Golden City and the One Piece as two such delusions. And yet, as you very well know, the arc ends by Luffy ringing the golden bell, proving that the Golden City was there all along. Well, wouldn't it be extremely fitting then? Even ironic if the One Piece, the second location of dreams, used to be in the very same spot that Bellamy used to make fun of both of them. Further, when we reach the ruins of Shandora, Robin explicitly states that there is no doubt that this city fought against the enemy in the war.
この都市にはポーネグリフが運び込まれている。間違いない。敵意に対してこの都市は戦ったんだわ。
Well, if Shandora was part of the ancient kingdom, that would only be logical then, wouldn't it? Not only as an ally, but as a part of the whole. Also, we can't ignore the fact that Shandora is the only place we know of where the ancient script found on the poneglyphs is actually used as the regular writing system found on the buildings and walls there. And so since we know that the Kozuki clan were the ones who actually created the poneglyphs for the ancient kingdom, and that this script is used very casually here, wouldn't the easiest explanation be that Shandora was part of the ancient kingdom? And given recent events, wouldn't that also explain why the sun god, who we now know as Nika, is heavily referenced here by the people as well? We even see Luffy in the exact same pose as him. And when I saw that,
Yes, that's a big thing. Like we talked when I was talking about the sun god earlier, you know. Well, I'm gonna let him get into more about it. I'm really
and
gonna
of
love it.
Nika, i.e. given recent events, wouldn't that also explain why the sun god, who we now know as Nika, is heavily referenced here by the people as well? We even see Luffy in the exact same pose as him. And when I saw that panel of Nika, I immediately thought of the
see all the-
soldiers. And
the
since
sun
Nika and Joy Boy both names
symbolism,
associated with
that's
laughter
what I was talking
quite
about.
possibly describe the very same person from 800 years ago, wouldn't it make sense that these traditions live on in Jaya because it was once part of this one ancient kingdom? And then I thought to myself, oh, but the sun isn't the only majorly important symbol in the story, is it?
So yeah, so like the sun god was heavily referenced in Skypiea. It was that big snake. I think they called him the sun god at one point. I forget, like it was in the Nolan flashback where it was that big snake, and they called him the sun god, where they was sacrificing people to the sun god, which was the snake. And then those little shields, I think those were in the cover stories. But yeah, Skypiea definitely has a lot about the sun god Nika, and yeah, it's some interesting little gems he's, you know, sharing, and like the laugh tale, you know, sun god being the god of, what he said, the god of laughter or something like that, or he's being joyous or whatever. Or Jaya and Skypiea is somewhat taking on the tradition of having like that jolliness, that laughing, which would be connected with laughter. I'm gonna let the video play.
One of the most consistently returning themes in One Piece is also the moon. It's everywhere, and I can't begin to count all the significant things that happened under a full moon in the story. The sun and the moon obviously go hand in hand in pretty much any mythology. On Zou, another ally of the ancient kingdom, we even get guardians of the night and the day with Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. So, wouldn't it make sense for the right city to be the city of the sun and the left city to be the city of the moon? By the way, I just looked it up. In Teotihuacan, one of the ancient cities of Mexico that Shandora is based on, there actually is a pyramid of the sun and a pyramid of the moon. The very same moon, by the way, which is part of the Kozuki heritage and whose crest is pretty much the same as the Shanyans. And while I was thinking this, I found this crazy color spread of chapter 269, where we see the Straw Hats in a place looking suspiciously like Wano, surrounded by the birds from the Kozuki crest. A crest that, by the way, has also crossbones, but no skull. Okay, this is chapter 269. The last panel of chapter 268 is this. Yeah, coincidence?
I think not!
The inscription on the pillar that Robin reads in the ruins says, "We are the ones who weave history." Clearly the Kozuki. And it also reminds me of this verse from Big Sake that says,
what was the town in Wano where Otama was in. It was a little village, but Curry, was it Curry? But like she was talking about how they weave baskets and stuff. So yeah, they weaved. I think she weaved Ace a basket, and I assume that's where Ace learned how to weave baskets. And I think he weaved, what was it, Orange Jr. a basket. Like that was Orange Jr.'s connection with Ace when we went back to Marineford, or when we was in Marineford, and they introduced Orange Jr. You know, he had that connection with Ace because Ace weaved him like one of them straw hats, right? And Ace learned how to weave those straw hats from when he was in Wano, and he was in that town, I want to say Curry, where Otama's from, because that's where they weaved hats.
Goodbye Harbor of the Spinning Village. And it also reminds me of this verse from Bing Sake that says, Goodbye Harbor of the Spinning Village. On top of that, I then remembered that the Shandians came down from the moon to Jaya with very advanced technology, making them the perfect candidates to be a part of an ancient, powerful kingdom. Okay, I'm gonna let you breathe here for a second. So, real quick, I want to say thank you to Squarespace, who's the sponsor of this video. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm trying to process some of it. Could Wino, you know, I wonder if he's going to where it's like maybe Wino could be holding Laugh-Toe, maybe. Could Wano have been that right eye? Or, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think Laugh-Toe would be in Wano. You know what I'm saying? That'd be weird. But I don't know. We'll see where he's going to go.
A really professional website is something that really makes you stand out.
But obviously, according to the theory,
can be really damn hard.
Based on the theory, though, Wano does have a heavy connection to the to Jaya, which it makes sense because we all knew that Wano created. I mean, there was a point where we all realized, where we learned that the poneglyphs were created, as far as the text and everything was created in Wano, and so yeah, Wano having that connection to Skypiea and Jaya, it makes sense. They have connection with everything. Like they have connection with I would assume that they have connection with the ancient kingdom in general, and everything in the Void Century. Wano is a big player. I believe Wano was a big player in the Void Century. That was a big player in the ancient kingdom. And that's part of why maybe they stayed away from joining the world government after the world government took over. But Wano was able to defend themselves from the world government as partially because their geography, and they had samurai. As for everywhere else, world government kind of came in and swept up and took everybody. Except for Skypiea. Skypiea is another one. But yeah, let's go.
Okay, break over. Next up is a concept that I learned from Yuderon that changed my perspective on Oda's writing completely. According to him, Oda absolutely loves playing with the numbers of the chapters to either describe what is gonna happen in this chapter or even hide a deeper message. One really interesting and way too specific date that Oda gives us in the story is the 12th of May, 1122, the day that Noland discovers Jaya. Oda usually never gives us specific dates for May 11. And way too specific date that Oda gives us in the story is the 12th of May, 1122, the day that Noland discovers Jaya. Oda usually never gives us specific dates for anything, so why now? Generally, dates in Japanese are written as year, month, day. So 1122, 512. Now, if you take the individual
21.
numbers and the pronunciation from both Japanese and English, you get this. 一つにここにいる. 一つにここにいる. The one is here. Interestingly enough, the volume title of 31 is also ここにいる. I am right here. So is this the One Piece literally telling us that it's right here? The next date we get is the 16th of November, 1127.
So, okay, so when he got, so Oda gave us the date that Nolan got to Jaya, which was the 21st of May. He kept saying the 12th, but it was the 21st of May. And then he, you know, he broke it up by, I guess, the numbers, the 1127 or whatever the number was. I don't think that's the same number. And it said Hitotsuru, or I don't know what the the word it was, but it was like Hito Nutsuru or something like that. And it broke down to the one is here. So yeah. And that was on the chapter where Nolan got to Jaya.
5 years later, when Shandora gets knocked into the sky. Same game. This time we get Hitotsunagi In Torodoroku. Do you remember? Hitotsunagi is the One Piece, and In is the sound of a bell. Thus, this date reads, the One Piece roars with the sound of a bell. The bell coincidentally being part of the unfulfilled promise to Noland to ring the bell that was then inherited over generations until Luffy was finally the one to fulfill it. Another promise that was unfulfilled and inherited to future generations was that of Joy Boy, not 400 but 800 years ago.
魚人島との約束を破ったことへの謝罪文だという。
So, when you subtract another 400 years back to the Void Century from Nolan's two dates 400 years ago, 1122 and 1127 minus 400, you get the years 722 and 727. The first possibly marking the promise by Joy Boy to the Mermaid Princess, and the second might be the year of destruction of the Ancient Kingdom. I know we're really deep into this right now, but stay with me because what comes next absolutely blew my mind. When you
So, what he said, the year 722 would be the year Nolan, or not the year Nolan, the year Joy Boy. Was it the year he made his apology, or the year he made his promise? I'm gonna play it again, but that was that year, and then those 4 years later. Or 727 was hold on, we gonna play that again.
The first possibly marking the promise by Joy Boy to the Mermaid Princess,
Well,
and the
making the
second
promise.
might be the year of destruction of the Ancient Kingdom. I know we're really deep into this
Okay,
right
so the
now,
year of
but
destruction of
stay
the
with
Ancient
me
Kingdom.
because what comes next absolutely blew my mind. When you take these two numbers, 722 and 727, and look at the corresponding chapters, you don't get some random stuff happening. No, 722 is the reveal that Doflamingo is a celestial dragon. In this chapter, he tells Law about how the 20 kings created the world government. 19 of the 20 families deciding to move to Merijoa, while the Nefertari family was the only one who did not go. The descendants of these kings, the world nobles, still live there today. And so this meant that 19 of these countries had to elect new royalties and new kings, and so new royal families were established. As a result, the new ruling family in Dressrosa were the Riku family, while the family that left for Merijoa were the Don Quixote family. Ancient history. Okay, so anything else that might be interesting happening in this chapter? Oh, yeah, we have a literal golden bell ringing in close-up. And then there is Jolla. Do you remember Jolla and her great artwork? Yeah, me neither. But look at this abstract masterpiece.
You see I got the left eye.
命の芸術大
The left eye closed. Remember we was talking about all the left eyes and like how he kind of said like the left eye was where the One Piece was on Jaya. So
インゴート
A giant gate with two eyes. The right one, bright like the sun, is open. The left one, dark like the night, is crying. I think I don't have to spell this one out for you, right? This might well represent the ancient kingdom being destroyed and ripped out of Jaya. All while Brook is playing music on top of it, and we all know how important music is in the One Piece endgame as well. And after defeating Jolla, he even says this.
すみません。私やっぱり芸術わかりません。目が節穴ですから。
At the same time, the Straw Hats and Tontada start the battle to restore the honor of the fallen king and regain their freedom. Chapter 727, meanwhile, where the fight in Block D continues. Okay, this might actually just be coincidence. We hear the story of Doflamingo taking over the country by staging King Riku and his men going against their own people.
Bro, I just want to say this. Cause like thinking about the Jola scene where she had that little gate with the eyes and this left eye. Bro, if this theory is if this theory do have some validity to it, like cause he corresponds to chapter, so it is, you know, he is still connected. It's connected because we got the chapter how he showed you we got to this specific chapter. And then you have that the gate with the two eyes, the left eye being closed. Bro, Oda is on some God juice or something. Like, I don't know what's in this man's food. I don't know what his parents done while they was pregnant, while his mom was pregnant with him. That's all I have to say for Oda. Like, cause this theory, I mean, it's saying some, it has some interesting things to it. Like, I might have to do a further breakdown or something. Maybe I'll get Elijah and I don't know, man. Maybe we could break down this theory some more. I don't know. But I think this might need a little more depth. This theory might need a little more depth into it. Like, we might have to put some more research or something. I don't know, but whew, let's go.
もっと国中が恐怖に震え上がり、陸王を心底恨み切った時だ。
The wordplay we get for this chapter number is chi ni ochiru, falling to the ground. Not only how Dressrosa fell, but also how the ancient kingdom fell. Jolla even says that her cryptic art is meant to represent the tragedy of Dressrosa, so also the tragedy of the ancient kingdom. Now, you might rightly say, Ohara, if Dressrosa is the representation of the fall of the ancient kingdom, what connection is there between Shandora and Dressrosa? Oh, right, this is a rhetorical question, right? The connection is this.
導いてくれたという
Oh yeah,
王
Mount
国
Blade,
の
yeah.
伝説のヒーロー
The chapter when Nolan finds out that Shandora has vanished while Kalgara waits for Nolan's promised return is chapter 292, titled Like the Half Moon Hidden by the Clouds. Again, the symbol of the moon that we can also find on Nolan's ship in this chapter. And the wordplay for this chapter is tsukini, two moons. In other words, two half moons making a whole, making the sun. Wouldn't it also make a lot of sense that the D is actually a half moon? 800 years ago, the people of the sun were overthrown and the done piece became the one piece. A circle became half a circle and became eventually a letter. The will of D then being to be made one whole again, becoming the sun, becoming One Piece. Okay, I thought to myself at this point, this already makes way too much sense.
Okay.
But now on to the biggest mystery of it all. Why do I think that the One Piece and or Laugh Tale is at Enies Lobby?
正義の門ってのは島の裏手にあって四方の塔からのみ行けるようだ。
なんだこりゃ黒いのなんだ
黒いのは滝だ。
The same Enies Lobby, by the way, whose main villain is called Rob Lucci, the one who robs the light. Just saying.
Hold on. Because it makes a little sense, you know. It makes sense for Because you think about it. Think about this. We got Jai, right? The left eye, or no, the right eye gets shot up into the sky. It gets shot up to Skypiea, into the clouds with the city of gold and everything. The left eye, on the other hand, with the One Piece, gets like, if it is in this lobby and it's the under in this lobby. I mean, that could make sense, and maybe he's going to explain it. But I would argue, how did it kind of? Because I would think that Jaya would have had to be where Enies Lobby was, because it broke, and I don't think that where it broke is going to change its location versus the actual like, how did they get so far apart? That's what I guess that's the question I'm asking. How did Jaya and Enies Lobby, I guess, split so far apart? Like, I guess that's where I would be. That's my fight back. Okay, it makes sense for Skypiea. Skypiea got shot up. It got thrown up. It could have rotated, went a little distance, bam. On the other hand, Laugh Tale I would expect, because that's where One Piece is, would have sunk into the ocean, but then the Jaya left that area, or Enies Lobby left that area. I don't know. Let's see what he has to say.
So we have One Piece that when adding the D2, it gives us done piece. A done piece. The first thing that connects Enies Lobby to this is that it also takes a D. Suddenly, Enies Lobby that makes no sense as a word becomes denies. Denies what? I thought. But it's probably more of denies who. When you really think about it, Enies Lobby is one of the most freakish places we've ever visited in the story. And I know that says something. It never gets dark there. We have the enormous gates of justice that no one ever seems to bother to explain really. It is one of the central government facilities, but it makes no sense that they would hold their mock trials on an extra island instead of Impel Down, for instance. Oh, and what the is the deal with this giant hole gaping in the middle of the ocean? The moment I looked at Enies,
you know something though, if this is the case, if let's say Laugh Tale is under Enies Lobby, what better place for the world government to, I guess, protect the One Piece? Like, let's say if the world government does know where Laugh Tale is. Let's say they know Laugh Tale's under Enies Lobby, right? Let's say they know that. They know the One Piece is there and everything. Let's say they do. Because we never really talk about why the world government isn't also after the One Piece. Be it that they get it in order to prevent or deny, like he was just kind of talking about. They protect it either to get it, keep it out of hands from other pirates. But what better way to protect it or watch over it than to build a headquarters or a fort, because it's not the Marine headquarters, but I say headquarters as in like a place, just like a main location. Build a base there, right? And not only that, a lot of people wouldn't expect the One Piece to be at Enies Lobby of all places, in like that hole of Enies Lobby. Nobody would expect that. And even if people do expect it, it's protected by a Marine base. So it's even further, it's even more of a hassle in getting to. So if the world government does indeed know that the One Piece is there, it will kind of make sense for them to build Enies Lobby over it. You know what I'm saying? It would, since they're not actively, as far as we know, they're not actively searching for the One Piece, They're not actively searching for it. So you know, let's see.
This lobby's map. It just made a lot of sense that this might have been the missing piece in the Jaya map that we're looking for. Shape-wise, it absolutely fits. I also wondered if these weird ancient structures on top of the island had any purpose for the Marines, but it doesn't seem like they do. So could it be that these are the remnants of an actual ancient kingdom? The missing link that we were looking for? And then the government just decides to build its own stuff on the island. Is that why they parade the pirates they capture over this island? As a forgotten tradition to remember their glorious victory over the pirate kingdom they fought against? I mean, it is called the Island of Justice after all, Shiho no Shima in Japanese. And here I'm a little bit proud of myself because I wondered that if there were multiple readings to the word for One Piece, there might be more to this as well, right? So here's what the dictionary told me. Shiho, obviously with different kanji combinations, next to justice, can also mean 1, 4 directions, 2, secret information, and 3, greatest treasure. Oh, okay. So we have the island of 4 directions, just like the 4 road poneglyphs you need to find Laugh Tale. The island of secret information, just as the forgotten history located on Laugh Tale. And finally, the island of the greatest treasure, the One Piece itself. So as a result, the government has made this one of the most guarded places in the world, where no one can sneak in during darkness, no one can escape from without opening the gates of justice, and that is directly connected to Impel Down and Marija itself. For Luffy, entering this island means declaring war on the entire world government itself.
Hey, think how crazy it would be that Luffy was... If this is the case, think how crazy it would be if Luffy was literally above the One Piece. Bro, that'd be crazy. If Luffy was already at, like, above Laugh Tale or whatever, you know, without knowing. And just think about having to go back there, you know. Just imagine the trip back to Laugh Tale. You know, maybe we'll get a resurgence of Lucci. You know, maybe Lucci might show up. Like, nah, you know, I want my rematch. I want my rematch here before you could get to the One Piece.
It's an island that denies entrance to the D, the sworn enemy of the gods. And since Enies Lobby is the arc directly after Skypiea, wouldn't it be a classic Oda move for the missing piece to be right there? I mean, the Straw Hats literally come to save the one person in the world that can figure out the true nature of this place. This arc is all about Robin and her unique ability to read the ancient script and her search for the truth, and how the world government is covering it all up. Hell, don't forget that this is the arc where we first learned about the ancient kingdom in the first place. Okay, but clearly the One Piece can't be in a town full of Marines, right? So where is it? Only one way to go. Remember the inverted stories of Roger and Noland? Well, Noland's City of Dreams was of the sea. So, let me think. Is there anything that might suggest that there's something at the bottom of Enies Lobby? What? So the wordplay from chapter 727, the fall of Dressrosa, was falling to the ground. Did Laugh Tale literally fall to the ground? I believe it did. I believe that Enies Lobby itself is the missing city from Jaya, and that under the floating island is the island of Laugh Tale and the One Piece. Just like the hidden world under Dressrosa. No wonder then that Roger laughed when he reached Laugh Tale. He had literally been to the ancient kingdom before and passed by Laugh Tale many, many times, right in front of everyone's noses. And the ultimate proof I have for this are Roger's very last words at his execution, the very words that start One Piece.
探せ、この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた。
Again here, the secret lies in the Japanese version, a true wordplay in true Oda fashion. Roger says, この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた. I left everything in this world, soko. Soko in Japanese meaning there. However, it also has a second meaning. Soko also means bottom. In other words, the second meaning of Roger's last words is, I left everything in this world at the bottom.
I mean, what I would say to that, let me... I mean, I don't know how sold I'm on the idea, you know, because like I kind of have mixed feelings about the theory. You know, I think it's a great theory, a well thought out theory, well put together theory, and I actually like the theory. I'm not saying I don't agree with the theory. I do actually kind of think there may be some validity to the theory, but like my pushback would be how did I guess in this lobby, like that how did they spread so far apart? You know what I'm saying? How did Jaya and I guess that piece, well, I'm gonna call Laugh Out a piece of the left eye. How did it drift? How did they drift so? Like, how did they become so far apart? Like, unless Jaya was right there, and then you know the eye got sucked out, and then it kind of like drifted away, which is very likely, you know, because how like how Titanic plates and everything work, it could definitely separate. So I think that's likely, but I think it would be dope because it would explain why Laugh Tale is so hard to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's looking for Laugh Tale, right? You need the roll poneglyphs in order to find it. But it's like, why hasn't anybody ever stumbled upon it? You know, why hasn't anybody just somehow was, you know, going on their ship and they just somehow stumbled upon Laugh Tale? You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it's just hard to reach, because it's just in a nearly impossible location. Kind of like how Skypiea is near, like, hard to reach. You need a knock up stream in order to get there. And yeah, so yeah, I think that would do a lot of explanation right there. Jay Franklin said that would be crazy. Plate tectonics. Yeah, exactly. Plate tectonics. Yeah, so I mean, that's an interesting theory. I like the theory, and I kind of want to do dive into it a little more. Not in a separate stream or anything. I might if I come up with some new theories to build on it. You know, I'll definitely maybe create some more videos or streams and talking about it. But I do want to dive into it a little bit more. You know, maybe see if I could find something new. But anyway, I'm out of here. That's pretty much the video. Make sure you go to the original video, which the link will be in the description. You know, give Ohara a like. You know, I definitely gave him a like because I really enjoyed the theory he made. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty good, well thought out, and I think it has some validity. He backed it up with a lot of stuff in the story with like the chapters, how he was able to correlate some of the numbers and everything with the chapters, and then there's something in each of those chapters that's given us a little more. So I definitely do think there's there's some validity into it, and that just shows like how genius that Oda is when it comes to writing and for telling the story and things. Man, give that man a clap. Give that man a clap. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so when I go live, we will be doing another One Piece stream. Let me see when the next chapter is, because I don't know if it's going to be next Sunday. Oh yeah, so yeah, we'll be getting a chapter next Sunday, and I will be discussing chapter 1022. I think that's what it is. But anyway, you guys, let me know what you thought of the theory. Do you agree with it? Do you find it to be BS? Can you find any holes in it? Did you have you thought of any of these concepts that were being? Have you heard of them before? Do you know anybody that theorized some of these theories before? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.